This is a review for Iron Man 3. My name is Steven Sprague. I'm filmmaker Steve23 on YouTube.
I'm Zach Bonas, and I'm also a student here.
Awesome. Spoiler alert. So, I'm going to put that in the title, but know that if you haven't seen the movie yet, click away. We're also pretty passionate about it, so it might get really animated.
Yeah, because we didn't really like it.
Oh wait, not literally animated, but, you know, still. Right,
So, we're not animated?
Oh, no.
Oh.
We're not supposed to be. We're realistic. Well, I guess we can start with like stats of the movie. I don't know, it just came out in 2013.
Yeah.
Directed by Shane Black. It's only his second performance as a director. I think that's very important for
But we also have to point out too that Shane Black, this is also, he's not exactly new to writing either.
Mm-hmm.
And this is actually on the long list of credits he has as a writer too. So we have to keep that in mind.
Okay.
So Shane Black, his history in Hollywood has been as a writer for films like Lethal Weapon.
He actually wrote for Last Action Hero, which is such a cheesy movie, but it's one of my all-time favorites.
Oh yeah, that's a great film. As much as Iron Man 3 needs action, as a story about a single character, like this is a character study when you think about it, but action can't really drive that type of thing, which is why we don't think he did a really good job with the film.
Right, yeah. I think he took on too much.
Yeah, it was too ambitious when you think about it.
Yeah, too ambitious. I don't think he's experienced enough to handle something like finishing the trilogy of Iron Man.
Yeah.
I think with Shane Black probably put himself in some hot water. There's an interview that, I don't know if you read it, I definitely read it.
I read some of it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's an interview where, this is where the spoilers come in. So, obviously in Iron Man 3, the villain is supposed to be the Mandarin. You know, that's what the trailer is telling us, that's what all the hype is.
Mm-hmm.
For those who don't know, the Mandarin has the 10 Rings of Power, which, you know, thinking of movies, like movie supervillains, you know, 10 Rings of Power is as good as you're gonna get.
Yeah, so he's a really important villain in the comic books.
He's very important. And one of the things that Shane Black said in the interview that he had was he wanted to be like Christopher Nolan, like what he did with Dark Knight, and how he kind of like grounded it and made it more realistic. Well, first of all, there are a lot of problems with that, but
if I can just say something, first and foremost, Jon Favreau, when he did the first Iron Man, he, like, in an interview with him, he said he wanted to really ground the character, but still give it the, you know, what it is in the comic books, still give that to the film too.
Also, when you compare yourself to Christopher Nolan, you're setting your expectations way too high. Obviously, right now, Christopher Nolan's as good as it gets.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite filmmakers. And
we're waiting for him to revamp the Superman series after doing Batman.
And even then, he's only producing it, so that's saying a lot with his power.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever he touches, obviously, almost turns to gold. He's like the film Midas, to be honest. Like King Midas.
Like he's like the Otherfall fanboys.
Yeah, exactly. Well, actually, maybe Joss Whedon more than that.
That's true.
We'll stick to Christopher Nolan for this. This is what he did to the Mandarin. He was supposed to be from outer space. I know he has the 10 superpowers in his rings.
Actually, well, he's not from outer space, but the thing is...
He comes from outer space, though.
No, well, from what I remember about the comic books, he didn't come from outer space. His powers did. His powers came from...
Good
alien crash. This is the story of the Mandarin.
Yeah, good point.
In the comics, they introduced him because an alien from outer space, I can't remember where, crashed into Earth. And from there, the alien was there for like thousands of years. Then the Mandarin came along in the small part of Asia, and he took the power from him because he was already by then a megalomaniac.
Right.
And the thing about his character is that the technology he has in his rings is considered to be magic, even though it's extraterrestrial. So that's also made part of his character. It's very fantastical and supernatural in a sense.
Yeah.
Despite being extraterrestrial.
And for those who don't know, I mean, the powers are pretty phenomenal. I mean, you have a freeze ray. You have like a flame-throwing ability. I know there's one where it's like antimatter. You can like change the cells and rearrange things. Like he literally has everything. He has like a black hole one. Like he has everything you would ever think of like a supervillain having powers. And unfortunately in Iron Man 3, they decided to not use any of that. So the Mandarin is shown as this terrorist group leader. He was definitely trying to modernize it in the sense that we had like the war in Iraq. But in the end, really, so this is the role he's actually playing. So the Mandarin isn't even this terrorist. This is all a mirage, created by AIM, which actually brings in the Extremis storyline, and this is where it kind of throws it all together. But the Mandarin is actually played by he's like this drunk alcoholic guy. He's just a partier, he's an actor. He's the one he's Ben Kingsley. And he actually really is just an actor. He's putting on a performance for the Mandarin. And I am blanking on the leader of AIM's name right now. Aldrich Killian?
Yes, that's his name. They were trying to put in more than one villain, which if you do it right, you can get away with it, but they didn't do it right.
Well, actually, when's the last superhero movie that they shoved in several bad guys and it didn't work?
I can think of maybe two, like Spider-Man 3 being
I was hoping you were going to say that. Spider-Man 3 was terrible, obviously the worst of that trilogy, and I'm so glad that they redid it with The Amazing Spider-Man.
He directly brought the storyline into the film, so by bringing like those small elements, they should have stayed subtle like they were in the other films. He just brought completely in, pretty much ruined the subtlety of the other two films.
Yeah.
And that's why, once again, spoilers, at the end, they did something that went completely against not just all the reinventions we've seen of Iron Man, but of just the character in general.
Would you like to say that?
Yes, I would. They actually took out the piece that kept his heart beating, that was trying to make it so that the Disruptor wouldn't hit his heart. The biggest point was that even if doctors did work on him, it would be so hard to get that out. So how?
Yeah, I didn't think they had the capacity to even do it. And now in the third one, they do it like it's nothing.
How come all of a sudden?
It's a 5-second scene.
Yeah.
It's a 5-second scene. It's like, doctors will just take the biggest.
I felt like that scene was the end of The Dark Knight Rises directly, where like if you watch that film, you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, you can see.
It's like they're trying to Shane Black was trying to like create a heartfelt scene that no matter what happens to Tony Stark, whether you take something away that's symbolic or not, he's still the same character. Okay, first of all, I call bullshit on that.
No, yeah.
I call bullshit on that.
It kind of brings up the question though, like, where are they going to pick it up with Avengers 2 if Tony Stark isn't Iron Man?
And also my big question is this: is that with the Avengers universe, with Marvel, what happened to S.H.I.E.L.D.? My biggest question when I was watching was, what happened to S.H.I.E.L.D.? How come they disappeared? Even if
they must be following Captain America around.
Which is, I think, what they're doing actually.
Probably.
But even then, even if you didn't establish Black Widow, you're establishing S.H.I.E.L.D. Shouldn't there at least been one agent that's going to be in this film? How come?
You can connect it with anxiety attacks, but not
hello. I mean, in the film, he calls out the Mandarin and even tells him his address. And yet S.H.I.E.L.D. doesn't come and protect Tony Stark. Don't you think
that doesn't make any sense.
Don't you think that a company or like an organization that keeps tabs on these heroes that they're affiliated with would come and save his ass?
Yeah, Tony Stark saved the world.
And
then S.H.I.E.L.D. can't help him when there are 3 attack choppers shooting missiles at his house, you know?
So much established in this trilogy was completely forgotten. It's like this movie has amnesia. There were just so many things in this film that I felt like...
But they never, like...
Well, completely pointless.
Yeah, they never established, like, what's going to happen.
Also, how about that... What was it, that kid? His name was Holly, whatever?
I don't know. I think he kind of... He brought in, like, a little... I don't want to say comedic relief, but he was, like, lighthearted. It did make the middle of the film, like, which some of the slowest parts of the movie were in the middle. But it made it, I think, a tiny bit more likable. You know, everybody likes a cute, witty kid. And that might be a cop-out also.
I see.
But I'm almost positive that's why he's there.
Okay, but from what you know about the character, was that character in the comics too?
No, I think he's fabricated.
No.
Alright, so let's take it from 2 different mindsets. So this is how you have to look at this movie. If you are a Marvel fan, if you're a fan of comics, you know, if you know anything about the origin stories or the journeys of superheroes, you're probably going to hate this film because you feel betrayed. If you go in with a mindset saying, oh, I'm just a casual moviegoer, I don't really know much about Iron Man, so, you know, people like that will believe anything, to be honest.
I mean, honestly,
I'm there for, like, the CGI and the action and you know, the comedic element of it, then you probably will really like it. And I think that's what's driving the reviews. I think they're trying to be not like comic fanboys, and they're trying to just view the movie as its own project.
Yeah, this is definitely a film that trying to be a kind of like a leave your brain at the door kind of film.
Yeah.
But because of what they established, it was so hard for like to do.
You know what made the betrayal so powerful too was the fact that they're really pushing it in the trailers, and then it's like they take the tablecloth out from under your plates. It's here's the Mandarin. You're gonna love this. It's the Mandarin is Iron Man 3's supervillain and the end of the trilogy. It's all over. Mandarin was awful. So thanks for teasing me with that.
Yeah.
Guy Pearce wasn't in the trailer at all.
No, he wasn't.
Like you go to the movie, you're like, why the hell is Guy Pearce in it? He wasn't in the trailer. So I mean, it's the fact that they teased us. Like, why did they even?
If they make a trailer, can you at least do it in a way where you're gonna know who's gonna be in the film? I mean, even for the trailers,
it had to have been all for just hype. So in summary, if you had to give it out of 10, what do you think you would give it? Do you want to give it from like a comic fan, comics fanboy standpoint?
Okay.
And then from like a third person standpoint?
I'm gonna do it differently. Okay, from a filmmaking standpoint, if you come into this as someone who knows film, who understands story, and who comes into this knowing the trilogy, knowing the way it's written, I would say maybe a 6 or 7.
Okay.
On a comic book standpoint,
that's pretty fair.
Maybe a 5. If maybe I'm being, I might
generous.
I might be, I'm being generous.
Yeah, I can see that as being generous.
From someone who just wants to come in and watch a film, leave your brain at the door, watch an action film, have fun, I'd say maybe
an 8. Okay. I'm gonna stick with 2.
Even for that?
I'm not. No, not for the rating.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna do 2 perspectives, not 3.
Okay.
So 2. Okay. So I'm gonna say from like a comics Marvel fanboy type stand, I gotta give it somewhere in the 3 to 4 range. Because betrayal. All right. I'll stay with 3. We'll go 3 out of 10.
Okay.
If it's a movie that I'm going in, I just want CGI, I just want the action. Let me see Robert Downey Jr. in this shiny metal costume that has all these fireworks and effects, stuff like that.
Which they do well.
Yeah, which they do very well. Which this is not me, but if I put myself in that kind of mindset, I'm looking at probably 8.5, 9 out of 10. Still well done for the message that they're trying to send, but the real problem is the message.
Yeah.
That's what that's the core of the film, and you're failing at the core of the film. So
I mean, honestly,
if I have to mesh them together, give it a 5.
Yeah, maybe
5, but feelings of emptiness and betrayal and aggravation.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, a lot of betrayal.
Yeah, so I can give it a 5 out of 10 if I'm just gonna give it general 1.
Yeah.
I don't know. You agree with a 5?
I agree with that. Yeah.
You're right in the middle, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty fair. All right, so this has been Filmmaker C23 signing off.
I'm Zach Moyes.
You don't have a YouTube account.
No, well, see you soon.
Yeah, you should actually
see you
soon. We can make this a regular process.
That's right.
All right.
All right.
See you later, guys.
See you soon.